Greetings. Today we are going to discuss about the fourth module of human-computer interaction, and you know very well that it is a regulation 2013 syllabus, and especially in this unit, right? The title is Mobile HCI, that is a human-computer interaction. So these are the topic which is available under this fourth unit. So it is called as a mobile ecosystem. The title of this fourth unit is mobile ecosystem. So where it dealt with platforms, application frameworks and types of mobile applications like widgets, applications and games, and mobile information architecture and the mobile design, that is under the mobile design. So we are going to discuss about the elements of mobile design and tools. So when we talk about mobile ecosystem, the base layer in the mobile ecosystem is the operator, right? Through which only we are going to get the connections. So that it is called as a operators, and these operators can be referred as mobile network operator, MNO, right? Mobile network operators. The operator role in the ecosystem is to create and maintain a specific set of wireless services over a reliable cellular network. So that is very important. So here we know very well whenever we are talking about wireless communication, it will be very fast. But how far it is reliable, right? It is purely depends on the service provider and the area where the user is available, right? So the important factor about the reliable cellular network is not only it should be faster, but at the same time it has to provide a reliable service. So here under this mobile ecosystem, the term network is very important. We know very well that in mobile communication, you have studied this paper in third year, right? During in that paper, you would have understood that how this mobile architecture is right arranged, or the hierarchy of mobile architecture. So the mobile devices, that is your mobile phones, will be right having a connection with the base station. It is a wireless connection. Apart from that, base station to the higher level hierarchy will be a connection oriented service. So I am not going to deal in detail about that. For understanding purpose, I told you. So the operator operate wireless networks, right? Remember that the cellular technology is just a radio that receives signal from an antenna. So that you know very well how the radio is right functioning, right? It is a broadcasting service. The same way, right? The cellular technology is also working. But here you know very well that for you will be having a GSM 900 is the best example for providing a cellular technology, right? So like that, different operators will be having or working in different frequency and different signal strength. So based on the signal strength, you will be getting a information. Services can be provided to the user. So the network is very important. Then the second important ecosystem is devices. So what you call phones. The mobile industry calls this as a handset or terminals. So as far as the network, mobile network is concerned, it is called as a handset or terminals. But in colloquial right manner, we are talking about it. We are calling this as a phones or mobile phones. So these terms that I think are becoming outdated with the emergence of wireless devices that rely on operated network but do not make phone calls. So the number of these other devices is a small piece of overall pie right now, but it is growing rapidly. So why they are telling that it is a growing rapidly? So day by day the future modification has been done, right, in terms of storing size of data, or in terms of increasing the speed of the services to the user, or in terms of providing reliability, or in terms of providing smoothless handovers, right? So these are the techniques which they are going to modify so that it is growing rapidly. And here, under this mobile ecosystem, the biggest challenge for mobile ecosystem currently faces is device fragmentation. So what is the meaning of device fragmentation? A term used to describe how mobiles interpret industry specification differently, causing different mobile devices to display content inconsistently. So that is called device fragmentation. So the meaning is we are having different types of variety of mobiles, right? Different people are providing different types of mobiles. So we are talking about Nokia, we are talking about Redmi, is it not? So these are the different types of mobile devices we are using, but they are having its own feature. So even you can able to understand that in Redmi itself there are so many varieties. So each and everyone is having providing different types of services. That is called device fragmentation, right? This is the greatest challenge, right? Facing all type of industry. And when you talk about the platform of a mobile services, so it is called as a licensed platform or sold to device makers for non-exclusive distribution on devices. So why we are saying that it is a licensed platform. So if one organization or one right industry is using some concept or some features, then they will be saying that it is they are the owner of the particular services. So that is the reason why we are saying that it is a licensed platform. So what is the goal to create a common platform is we are using an application program interfaces. So we are using a mobile, we can connect with any different type of mobile. So for that we need a API. So for example, you can communicate with Nokia mobile with Redmi mobile. So how it is possible? With the help of application program interfaces. So that will help us to make a connection between different mobiles, right? So that is the concept behind this platform. And another important, when you talk about licensed platform, so it may be vary according to this different type. So either it may be a Java ME, right? It is known as J2ME, right? Collection of Java APIs for the development of software. I told what is application program interface. So here J2ME is providing these type of application program interface. And another important thing is the next licensed platform is binary runtime environment for wireless. It is also called as a BRU. So BRU is a licensed platform created by Qualcomm for mobile devices, and this BRU is mostly available in US market. Then next licensed platform is Windows Mobile. So Windows Mobile is a licensable and compact version of the Windows operating system. So combined with a suite of basic applications for mobile devices that is based on Microsoft Win32 API. You know very well what is the difference between Win64 and 32 application program interfaces. Then the last one in the licensed group is Limo. Right, Limo is nothing but Linux based mobile platform created by mobile that is a Limo Foundation. So although Linux is a open source, Limo is a licensed mobile platform used for mobile devices. So here we know generally people will say that Linux is a open source, right? But as far as this Limo is concerned, it is a licensed one. So you know very well that is the proprietary ownership will be there in the case of licensed one. But in the case of ownership, so we cannot say that or we cannot write it is having a open source. That means any component in plug and play. The best example for open source is it is a plug and play. So you know what is the meaning of proprietary under this mobile ecosystem. So proprietary platform are designed and developed by device makers for use on their devices. So for example, if suppose I am using a particular mobile and the component, right? the same component has to be replaced. Then that type of thing is called as a proprietary, right? So the other people cannot, or other component cannot be suitable for those type of devices. The best, that is called as a proprietary platform. So Palm, BlackBerry, iPhone, right? These are comes under, right, proprietary. And opposite to this one is open source. That means, right, everyone, any component, equivalent component can be put. The same component is not necessary. Any component can be replaced with this, right, open source, right? So that is the basic difference between the proprietary and open source. uh, as far as application framework is concerned, so as far as this application framework often run on top of operating system, right? And it's sharing core services such as communication, that is a connection establishment, and sharing of information, that is called messaging, and graphics, right, visualization to the user, and location, identifying the location where it is connected to the base station. And another important aspect is security, right? So here the ownership has to be established. That is the reason why we need a security, and that has to be done by means of authentication, right? There are so many parameters we can right, include. So here this application framework has been having the different category. The Java is providing application framework, S60 is providing, and binary runtime environment is also providing, Bash Lite. So these are the some providers of application framework. And when you talk about type of mobile application, so here when you say mobile application, types of mobile application, the meaning is information delivered to the end user. How the end user is perceiving the information. That is the concept behind, that is a type of mobile application. So I am not going to discuss in detail about this one. For understanding purpose, I have taken one. So that is SMS. You know very well what is SMS, short message service, right? So what is the pros and cons of this SMS? So here this SMS, they work on any mobile devices nearly instantaneous. That is the best advantage of SMS. They are useful for sending timely alert to the user. Simply you can type and immediately you can forward. Right? If you could not able to call, then immediately you can forward. They can be incorporated into any web or mobile application. Right? So either the SMS can be, you can connect your desktop and you can forward, right? Or from your mobile itself you can forward. So that is the concept being incorporated in any web or mobile application. So they can simple to set up and manage. So there is no complexity as is there as far as SMS is concerned. So what is the limitations of SMS? They are limited to 160 characters. That is a prime limitations of this SMS. Then they provide a limited text-based experiences. So only text alone can be, right, forwarded, right, in SMS. They can be very expensive, right? So these are the drawbacks of SMS. So when you talk about mobile, types of mobile application, one of the application is SMS. And here there is another important right, application is game, right? The final mobile medium is game, the most popular of all media available to the mobile devices. I don't want to give detailed explanation about mobile games, you know very well. And here how it is created. So you'll be, that is, it is using a Adobe Flash and SVG, scalable vector graphics standards, and they are going to use these type of right, tools to develop this type of games. What is the advantage and disadvantage of this right, mobile application called games? So they provide simple and easy way to create an immersive experience. So it provide the immersive experience to the end user, and it can be ported to multiple devices relatively easy. Simply you can forward and you can use it. So you can share with the multiple number of devices. So these are the advantages of these games. And what is the disadvantage? So it is very costly to develop as a original game title. they cannot be easily ported to the mobile web. So the complexity of loading into mobile web, that is a very high complexity as far as this game is concerned. So here I already discussed this SMS. Yeah. And when you talk about mobile information architecture, so although this information architecture has become a common discipline in web industry, unfortunately the mobile industry like software has only a handful of specialized mobile information architect. Okay, less limited people are available to develop a mobile architecture. So what is the aim or focus towards this mobile architecture? Right? Developing a mobile architecture. Or what is the objective they have to focus? So keeping it simple. Right? Here it should not give any confusion or it should not be having a very complex to the end user. That is the meaning of keeping it simple. And it has to provide a sitemaps. Right? So when you are navigating, it has to provide a sitemap, that is a connectivity between different menus or many buttons. All these things has to be work properly, that is called the sitemaps. And it should have a click stream, right? They will be moving from one layer to another layer, that is called user traverse. So here it should provide click stream. And another important factor is wireframes. So wireframes are the way to lay out information on the page, how you are displaying the information on the page, that is called wireframes. And the last one is prototyping. So you know very well what is the meaning of prototype, creating a model. So immediately industry cannot go for direct production of any mobile devices. So what they will do is they will create a prototype model. So these models are classified into three categories. One is called paper prototype and second one is a context prototype. So here you know very well what is the meaning of paper prototype. Like mobile devices, they will create a by using a papers, they will create a model, that is called paper prototype. And as far as context prototype is nothing but they will take the images and they will check whether these images are fit into the mobile devices. They will capture so many images and they will try to bring into the frame of the mobile devices, that is called a context prototype. And third one is you know very well HTML prototype. You will be create by using a HTML you are creating a visualizing the model of mobile devices. These are the three different category under prototyping. And here what are all the elements that are associated with mobile design? So when you design a mobile, so what are all the things that has to be focused? The first one is called as a context. So what is the why we are developing this model? That is the meaning of context. Generally speaking, why we are developing this model and who are the users? What do you know about them? That means what is the requirement of the user and what type of behavior can assume or predict about the user. Right? For example, organization is producing a mobile and they are telling that the mobile cost is 1 lakh. Right? How the user will behave, right? Whether they will purchase. More number of user will purchase this type of costly mobile or not. So that is called context. And second one is a message. So what you are trying to say about your site or application visually, right? That is called branding. So how you are capturing the mind of people by means of branding, right? So it has to be visually, they should realize the features of the mobile. That is called as a branding. And third one is look and feel. The concept look and feel is an odd one, right? It is a being a subjective that it is not able to define what is look and feel. So look and feel is used to describe the appearance, right? Whether the compact mobile is compact, it is a weightless, right? And whether all the features are there, the clarity of the images. So all these things are coming under look and feel. And the next parameter is layout. So layout is an important design element because it is how the user will visually process the page, right? So whether, for example, if you are viewing in your desktop, the same image you are viewing in your mobile, right? It should fit in your mobile. That is called as a layout, right? Visually how you are processing a page in the mobile devices. And last one is color. So color is also called as a bit depth, right? So you know very well that it is the color, right, information will be represented by means of binary digits, right? So it is used to represent the color of a single pixel in a bitmap image. So the based on the intensity of the pixel only we can able to see the image in a visually in a screen, right? So that is very important. The color or bit depth is very important. So here now we will see there is a the MCQ questions related to this. So I have prepared 20 questions. So I didn't prepare any Google form. Directly we will see how, right, we can understand this MCQ. So the first one is M1O stands for, right? So in the first screen itself we discussed what is the operators. The operators are also called as a mobile network operators. This is the correct answer. The second one is world largest mobile operator. So who is the largest mobile operator? China Mobile is the largest mobile operators. And the third one is the mobile phones are called in industry. So how they are calling? So they are calling this as a handset or terminals. And J2ME stands for Java 2 Micro Edition, right? So here I think 2 times it has been mentioned, that is here Java 2 Micro Edition. And the greatest challenge in mobile ecosystem is device fragmentation. That also we have discussed. What is the meaning of device fragmentation? And the application framework run on top of operating system. So what is the meaning of BRU? BRU stands for binary runtime environment, right? And SMS stands for short message service, right? And WRT stands for web runtime, right? This also we have discussed. And SVG stands for, that is a graphical, right, images, right? Visualizing the graphical images will be provided by using SVG. SVG stands for scalable vector graphics. And what are the disadvantage of mobile games? So we discussed the cost of the mobile game is very high, and also for it is very complexity to develop the game application. Is it not? The cost is high and developing for mobile application is difficult. And the number of character permitted in SMS are, you know very well that we discussed 160. So what is the means of that is a clickstream defines the behavior of websites. And here the wireframes defines the layout information on the page. These things are we have discussed also. So the prototyping are classified into paper prototype, context prototype, and another one is HTML prototype. The 16th question is context in mobile design deals with detailed description about the users. That means users requirement, right? So here whether they will purchase or not, or whether they will accept our product or not. So that is the meaning of context in mobile design. And message in mobile design deals with branding. So how you are making the people to purchase or attract the people to purchase our mobile. That is called as a message. And 18th question is look and feel is nothing but the appearance, right? How it is visually shown to the user. That is called appearance. And 19th question is layout deals with processing the page visually, right? So we have already discussed what is the meaning of layout. Layout is nothing but processing the page visually. So what is the next page has to come, right? When you click a button, what it will come. So whether it is going to that page correctly or not. That is the concept behind layout. Or we can say the architecture of the placement of all the requirement. right? Component. Color is also called as bit depth, right? So either representation of image, right? That is also correct, but binary representation is also correct, but it is also called as bit depth. So this is more suitable than these things. So bit depth is the correct answer. So my dear student, right, I have covered almost the fourth unit, right, right, I have given some basic knowledge about this unit, and if you are liking our video, please subscribe, and thank you very much for listening, and all the best for your examination. Thank you very much. Thank you one and all.